Sunshine Island is a mobile and PC game available globally all around the world. But one of the things I have found is you guys have a lot of questions. So in today's video, we are going to be answering as many of those questions as I possibly can. But as a little reward for you guys asking so many awesome questions, there's going to be a voucher in the video somewhere. So what you guys have to do is there's going to be letters in order hidden in the whole length of this video. You simply have to write down somewhere those letters, and by the end you will have a voucher code that you're able to use here in the game. So let's jump in and I'll show you guys first of all how to use that voucher. So the first thing you want to do is come over to the settings icon up on the top left. You can see it next to the mail and the trophy symbol. You're going to go ahead, click on that. That's going to pull up this menu here. You're then going to be able to scroll down and you can click on voucher. Once you have figured out the voucher code, you can go ahead and type it in here. This is not the voucher code. You guys are going to have to work that out for yourself. So while we're in the settings menu, I've had a lot of questions on how do I connect my account to multiple different devices. This is between iOS, Android and PC. Now I myself have an iPad, I have an Android phone, and I have my PC where I record my videos. I have my same account linked on every single one of these. So in order to do that, you're going to go ahead and click on the save account icon. You're then going to be able to click sign in with email. On some of the mobile devices or tablets, you're going to see there's another option to potentially sign in with the Play Store or the Apple Store as well. But the email is the one you want to use to go ahead and link multiple accounts between multiple different devices. And once you have linked that email, you'll be able to sign in on those new accounts following this exact same method. So one of the most common questions I've had here in the game, which kind of relates a little bit to the player tournament, is how do I increase my happiness? What's the best method to increase my happiness in order to make the most of the player tournament? Now, for those of you who don't know, happiness has a direct impact on the player tournament. You can see right here the kind of percentages. When the player tournament is running, there's going to be a total at the bottom here next to the 196 number. There's going to be a little number on the right that's going to give you a percentage multiplier. The more happiness you have, the higher that's going to be. So the best methods for upgrading your happiness is going to be to upgrade your town halls on each island. You'll see this is currently giving me 40 population as well as 75 happiness. Now, if I went ahead and I clicked this upgrade icon, I can't unfortunately upgrade it at the moment, but if I was to upgrade it, you're going to see I'm going to gain more population and more happiness all in one building. Now, as a quick example, if we come over to this island right here, you'll see I actually do have this one available. I can go ahead and upgrade that right now, which I am going to do. So I'm going to click upgrade. This is going to give me an additional 15 happiness on my Tropicals island, plus 10 population as well. So we're going to go ahead, click upgrade. That's going to take a few hours, but hey, we can wait on that. Now, of course, one of the other methods you can use to upgrade your happiness is to go ahead and build decorations. So right now I have a couple of vintage cars on this. Decorations can be found here in this menu down on the bottom left, the wee builder hat. You click on that and you can go ahead, you'll be able to find houses here, which is of course going to give you population, but you're also going to be able to find lots of different decorations. Now, the ones I would recommend most are those that obviously you can fit in, but you'll see I have some stored up right here. The swimming pool is one of the best on the Tropicals island. That is going to take loyalty points to get, and it's going to give you 130 happiness at level 1. That can go up all the way to level 5, where it's going to give you over 900 happiness. It's pretty much the exact same on all of the other islands. On the main island, I would go ahead and I would recommend getting this, the flower arch. Try and upgrade that as much as possible. That's a really good one. But basically, the best way to get happiness is to go ahead and build decorations and upgrade your town hall. So we already touched on it a little bit. I've had a few questions on how am I best increasing my population. Now, don't go crazy with your population, because remember, if you're upgrading your houses, every time you upgrade a house, it's going to reduce your happiness, usually by about 10. And you want to maintain as much happiness on your island as possible, so there's no point in getting a huge amount of population when you don't need it. So my advice would always be to keep your population count as close to 0 as you possibly can. Then when you need to make an upgrade and you need more population, go ahead, upgrade one of your houses, or again, upgrade your town hall. That's going to be the first port of call. Remember, your town hall will also give you more population. And if you have already upgraded your town hall, you can upgrade a house and then you can go ahead and complete whatever it is you need to do. Okay, so people seem to be struggling a little bit for gold, and if any of you have watched that previous episode of my Quest to Level 50 series, you'll see I spent nearly 10 million gold in one episode. So gold is something you definitely need a lot of here in the game. When I'm saying gold, I actually mean coins. I keep getting the two mixed up, but I'm talking about coins, these things on the top right of the screen. But one of the best ways, of course, to make gold is over here in the warehouse. If you have excess materials, so for example, if I don't need all of these carrots, I can go ahead and I could sell like 600, that's going to give me 100,000. There's lots of stuff you can sell in here that you potentially don't need. There's some stuff I would maybe avoid, like your ores and your bars and stuff like that, but stuff like feathers, I always have a lot of feathers, so again, I could easily sell 600 of these. In fact, I'm going to do that just to get a bit more gold. You can go ahead and do that. That's not going to make too much of an impact for me, and that's going to give you a nice little bit of gold. Now, if you don't have excess materials to sell, there's a few ways, of course, you can actually just sit and grind it out yourself. Now, one of the best methods of doing this is just to do wheat. So we're going to go ahead, collect up all this corn, and you can come in here and every 1.5 minutes, so that's every 90 seconds, you can go ahead and collect that wheat. Now, of course, once you've maxed out your storage, it's going to give you the ability to sell that wheat. So if you're going to be active in the game for a long period of time, wheat is the one I would probably suggest doing. You're going to be able to sell one piece of wheat for 9 gold, which might not seem that much. You know, a full amount of wheat for me is going to be just about 12,000 once I've fully completed it. That's not a huge amount, but you're going to be able to produce that very, very quickly. So that's a good method of doing it. While you're doing that, every 5 minutes you can go ahead and come in here and make some milk. Now the milk is going to sell for slightly more. You're going to be able to sell 1 milk for 20. So again, I could make 20,000 for a full lot of milk, something like that. That's going to be pretty nice as well. So if you're going to be active in the game for long periods of time, there's lots of stuff you can do to continue making that gold as quickly as possible. A few other great methods for making gold is to come over here and complete your quests. You'll see if I click on this one right here, this is going to give me 14,000. It's not amazing, potentially could do with getting a little bit more, but that is another method of making some coins. So another question I get asked quite a lot is, what are runes and what do I do with them? So runes are a way that you can basically boost your production or boost certain things. So it'll be located over here on next to the Jade Island, just to the left of the Jade Island. It's got its own little icon here. And what you can do is you'll be able to see all of your runes down here in the bottom of this part here. You're going to be able to click on them and it'll tell you what each one of them does. So this one for me is going to give me 2 days and it's going to increase the material rewards for market orders. So that's in the marketplace. You're going to be able to get 10% more. These are pretty nice. I mean, some of these are going to be really good. There's one, of course, currently in the season pass. If we scroll along on the rewards right here, this one is going to reduce the return time of planes by 2 hours. Now, ones like this are going to be massive, especially for the player tournament. So there's definitely some you want to probably save for certain times in the game, but that's what runes are. They're going to give you percent boosts on certain things only for a couple of days. So we're now going to move on to the part of the game that I have got the most amount of questions for, and that is the guild. Okay, so one of the most common questions I've had for guilds is, how do I contribute to projects? So first things first, projects is if we head over to our guild island and you click on this building right here, this is where all of our projects are stored. Now, if you've got a lower level guild, you might not have all of these projects currently unlocked. But I can't remember the level it is to unlock them all. But once you've gotten your guild up to a decent level, you'll have all of these projects unlocked. Now, to contribute to projects, there's a few different methods. The first of which is you can simply watch an advert. So there's an advert you'll see right under here. There is an advert I can watch that's going to give me 7. Most of the time it's going to give you 6. It gives you 10% of the total amount. So it's 600 here, 10% of that is going to be 6. We are up to 7 because we've actually done some additional stuff in our guild, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But you'll see lots of people in here have a lot more contributed to this project than 7. So how do you do that? Well, it's very simple. What you go ahead and do to contribute to guild projects is you simply need to collect that resource. So we are currently doing a Pinewood event, so Pinewood is Finewood, that's what we are trying to collect. So I would go ahead, and once this has finished in 30 minutes, I would go ahead and collect that. That's going to give me 49 Pinewood, and I would go ahead, collect that, and my total right here would go up by 49, plus the boost you can also get from your guild. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. It is fairly simple. It doesn't matter how much you have over here in your storage. So you'll see if I find wood, I've got 507. That does not matter in the slightest. You don't need to sell that, you don't need to touch this. The only thing that contributes to guild projects is by collecting that resource itself. Okay, so continuing on with the guild, we're going to look at how you can help and get help from your guild members. So this again is fairly simple. If I want to get help, which you'll see I have here from one of my guild members, you're going to go ahead and click on the thing you need help with, and there's going to be a button here that says ask for help. Now, as you can see, this is grayed out for me. I cannot click this at the moment because I've already asked for help on one of these planes. Now, it's the same on your ship. You're only going to be able to get help on each row of your ship. So 1 help per row of your ship is what you're going to be able to get help with. And as soon as this goes up, I'll go ahead and show you guys. If we scroll over to our guild island here and we open up our guild menu, you'll know if somebody needs help because there is an exclamation mark icon next to their name. So you'll see Waldo Awesome here for us has got a help request up, so we can go ahead, we can visit him by clicking on his name, clicking visit, and you'll see on this bottom section here there is a ship icon, and that is where we know he needs help. So I can come over here, I can see what he needs bamboo, so I can then go ahead and I can load that up for him, and I am going to be able to get some rewards back from that. I have now completed his ship, so he can go ahead and he can send that one off, and that's how you ask for help and help other people in your guild. So on the guild menu, you'll see, of course, we had the exclamation mark symbol to help people, but one of the other questions I've had is, what is the numbers over on the right hand side as well? Well, these are guild coins, and this is how much you've contributed to your guild. But it's kind of also not how much you've contributed. There's a couple of different ways. So guild coins, of course, can be spent over here on the guild island to upgrade your buildings. So as an example, the one we're saving up for right now is to upgrade our guild hall. So we need 100,000 guild coins in order to do that, to get an additional member here in our guild. And if you look to the top right, you'll see we have 83,000 guild coins currently. Now, all of these have not just been contributed by guild members, but we have also gained them through projects. So the current project we are running, once we complete it, which hopefully shouldn't take too long, is going to give us 24 guild coins. Now, once we have got those guild coins, then we are going to be able to continue, going on and so forth. One of the best ones for us that we get all the time is a 5-star feathers. That's going to get 525. But that's not the only way you can contribute. The ones you get from doing projects will not show up next to your name because that's everyone working collectively in the guild. They don't show up as an individual amount. To get more of an individual amount, you're going to go ahead and click on the plus icon here on the top right of the screen, or you can come over to this building right here. You can go ahead and click on that, and that's going to pull up the guild bank. Now this is where you can contribute to the guild as an individual. So if you have gems available, now early game you're going to get a lot more gems than later game. So early game you're probably going to have more chance to buy guild coins. This is where I spend nearly all of my gems. Once you've got some gems, so in order to check how many gems you have, we're going to have to go ahead and return back to our normal island. You'll see I've got 2,208 gems. So we return back here. So unfortunately, I'm just a little bit short to get this 2,400 pack. I am 192 gems short. But once I get that, I'm going to be able to go ahead and I'm going to be able to buy 28,750 guild coins. And that will then be added onto my total of 42,000. So that's going to go up a whole another chunk. So that is how guild coins work. And that's how you're able to contribute them. Okay, so we already talked about guild levels a little bit, because in order to gain more projects, the ability to unlock more projects, you have to level your guild up. So that's kind of the only thing that guild levels actually do. You'll be able to see your guild level on the top left of the screen. You'll see ours is level 36 currently. You can also check by coming in here to your guild itself, and it'll show you next to the guild name with the little badge there, we are level 36, which is not too bad. We're doing pretty good here in Thunder Wolves. What does this do after you've gained all the guild projects? Nothing. It doesn't really do anything. Now, unfortunately, this is something I think needs to be addressed in the game, but that potentially is going to be for a future video. So once you have unlocked all the projects, the only thing that guild levels do is give you bragging rights over other guilds. We're a higher level than you. That's kind of the only thing it does. So while we're over here in the guild island, this is a question I get asked quite a lot. What should we spend our guild coins on? Because right now in the game, there is 6 buildings you can currently spend your coins on. And for me, there's 2 standout buildings. The first of which has to be the guild hall. You'll see at level 1, you have 15 members in your guild. So if you start a brand new guild today, you're going to have the ability to gain 15 members in that guild. You're then going to have to upgrade the guild hall in order to start gaining the ability to have more members. We are currently up to level 8, where we have 22 members. Like I said just previously, we're trying to get this up to level 9 to get an additional member, and hopefully in the future we'll get up to level 11 so we can have 25 members. Because having additional players in your guild is going to make a significant difference when it comes to the guild tournament and completing projects quickly. So after the guild hall, the next one I would say is best to upgrade is going to be the contributions for projects building. Now, this has recently seen an update. We had previously maxed out at 10%, but you'll see it goes all the way up to 20% now. But the cost of this building is very expensive once you get past level 6. In fact, right now for us, if we wanted to upgrade this, it's going to cost us 160,000 guild coins, which if we quickly check, is going to be... what's that, about 12,000 gems? 12,000 gems, which is crazy because the cost of 12,000 gems is going to be, yeah, around about £100. So to upgrade one thing to get an additional 2% is going to be £100? Yeah, no thank you. So I would say get this building up as high as you can in your guild. You can of course grind out those guild projects. It's going to take significantly longer. So if you have members in your guild that are able to use their gems to help contribute more guild coins, this is probably what I would say. I usually tell my members when they first join the clan, hey, if you have spare gems and you want to help us out, this is how you can do so. So potentially you guys can do that as well. So the priority I would say over here in the guild island for upgrading is going to be the guild hall first, then upgrading the contributions. You can also do other things like upgrading your ad contributions, which I spoke about previously. There's also loyalty points for projects. So that's every time you complete a project, how many loyalty points you get. You'll see we have currently got 10% more, which is lovely. You can also increase the help limit, which I think needs to be increased a lot without actually needing this building, but we have currently got it on 7 help per day, so that's each player will get the ability to help 7 other guild members per day. This can go up to 10. That's a pretty good upgrade, but I think we need the ability to help more people. And the last one is loyalty points for help, which is pretty self-explanatory. Every time you help someone, you're going to get slightly more loyalty points. So we're back over here in the guild menu, and we're going to combine a couple of questions here. Now, the first of which is going to be, what are the colored dots next to players' names? So you'll see I have currently got a green dot next to mine, which is very simple. It means I'm currently online in the game. The next one you guys might see here is the orange icon, which you'll see Mrs. has right here. That means they've been offline for a couple of minutes. Now you'll see Waldo here has a red dot, which means they've been offline for a couple of hours. And the last one, which nobody in my guild has because we're all super active, is the dreaded black dot. Now the black dot means they've been offline for a few days and they're probably inactive. Now the black dot's not the end of the world. Usually what I would do is I would go ahead and message a player if they have a black dot just to see what's going on. So for example with Paco, I can go ahead and click on his name. You'll see there's a few icons here at the top which I can click on. Now some of these icons are fairly self-explanatory. We're going to start from the right and work our way to the left. The one on the right here, if I click it, Paco's not going to be able to send me any messages. I've basically blocked him. I don't want to block Paco, so I'm going to go ahead and unblock him. The icon next to this, if I click on this, it's going to open up a DM chat with Paco. Now I'm not going to do this because he's my co-leader and we talk about some sneaky stuff. The next one along we have is this one right here, which I can go ahead and click on. This is going to give you the ability to set the rank of each player in your guild. Now, if you're a leader, you should have all of these options. If you're a deputy, you'll have this option, I believe, for members. And if you're a co-leader, you should have it for everyone except the leader. Now, Paco is my co-leader, so I don't want to change that. I'm happy to leave him there. But if I was going to change him, what I would do is I would click on that rank. I would then click confirm selection. But I want to leave him as my co-leader, so I'm just going to go off of that. The icon next to that, well, that's fairly obvious what that one does. It means they're going to be kicked out of the guild. Some of you might not see this if you're members of the guild or deputies, but that's the icon that does that. The one next to that is visit. If you want to check out their islands, that's what that does. Now we spoke just there about ranks in the guild, so that's another thing I want to touch on. The leader, of course, is the main person in the guild. They can do absolutely everything. They can spend the guild coins, they can kick people, they can promote people, they can do everything, and they can start projects, of course. The co-leader, which is going to be Paco in this case, he is able to do everything the leader can do except kick out the leader. Deputies are going to be able to start projects in the guild and they're going to be able to kick out members. That's the things they can do. Members, unfortunately, well, they're not able to do too much. They're able to contribute to guild projects, but they cannot start them themselves, and that's about all of the things that the members in a guild can do. So one of the next things that I've had a lot of questions on are, what are loyalty points, how do I get them, and what are tournament points and how do I get them? So if you look to the top left of the screen, you'll see we have loyalty points on the top with the love heart, and we have tournament points underneath. Now these are two different currencies you can get in the game. Loyalty points you're able to get fairly regularly. These can be claimed by completing guild projects. Once we complete this, you guys will see I'm currently going to get 18 loyalty points from this. The bigger the project you complete, the more loyalty points you're going to be able to get. You also get these for helping out players in your guild. That's another method you can do to get them. And of course, you can come over here to daily deals where you can spend them, or you can spend them on things like the flower arch or the swimming pool, which are decorations that are upgradable on each of your islands. Now, tournament points are fairly self-explanatory as well. These are able to be gained by completing the player tournament and the guild tournament. So you'll see here currently in the guild tournament, which is literally just started, we are going to get 90 tournament points for completing this one. And these are able to again be spent over in the shop in the daily deals section. If you scroll across, developers, if you're watching, I think these need a little bit of a boost or a buff or reduce the cost of some of these, because I'll be honest, yeah, this one, for example, 540 coins for 9 carats. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that one, to be honest. So that pretty much wraps up all of the most common questions I have seen in the Facebook groups, on the Facebook comments, on my YouTube comments, in the Discord. I tried to collect as many different questions as I could to answer them all in one video for you guys. Now, hopefully you have been paying attention and you have been able to figure out what that voucher code is. If you have, don't spoil it for those in the comments. If you do post in the comments, I'm going to delete your comments because I want people to figure this out for themselves. You can go ahead and enter that voucher one more time. I'm going to just remind you, over here in the settings, you can click voucher and you can enter that voucher here. Now, what I would say is, don't forget to enter them all in capitals, and there is no spaces in this voucher. So thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy Sunshine Island and you'd like to see more entertaining videos, you can go ahead and leave a like down below and subscribe while you're down there. I do currently have an ongoing series called Quest to Level 50, where I'm trying to gain as much XP as I can and level up to that level 50 mark. So if you want to see some gameplay videos, that's maybe the videos for you guys. But until the next one, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.